Уважаемые гости, прошу занять свои места. Мы сейчас начнем с ролика, и после ролика сразу же начнем нашу сессию. Спасибо.
All the challenges we face, perhaps the most existential is climate change. Central Asia is one of its front lines. Even if we successfully limit global temperature rise to 1.5 Celsius by 2050, which looks increasingly unlikely, we will experience between 2 and 2.5 Celsius of temperature rise here in Central Asia. We are really concerned about the scarcity of water resources. Droughts and floods in Central Asia will cause damage of 1.3% of GDP per annum, while crop yields are expected to decrease by 30%, leading to around 5 million internal climate migrants by 2050. Our glacier surface has already decreased by 30%. Our planet's climate emergency is the clearest example of our interdependence and shared destiny. Whether we like it or not, we are bound together.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nuri Özbağdatlı. I am working for UNDP Climate Strategies and Policies based in UNDP Istanbul Regional Hub. And I'm very honored to welcome you all at our green pitching session for Central Asian countries organized by United Nations Development Program in collaboration with AIFC Green Finance Center and other partners. With great pleasure, I extend the invitation to the esteemed ministers to grace us with welcoming remarks and set the tone of the event. And for the first speech, I would like to welcome Your Excellency, the Minister of Ecology and Nature Resources of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Mr. Yarlan Nisambayev. Please, floor is yours, sir.
Уважаемые дамы и господа, рад приветствовать всех на данном мероприятии. Одним из приоритетных вопросов COP28 является климатическое финансирование, привлечение зеленых инвестиций для низкоуглеродного развития и трансфер технологий. Сегодняшняя сессия посвящена этому вопросу и дает возможность обсудить и выработать наши совместные действия для реализации данных целей. Значительное сокращение объемов выбросов требует крупномасштабных инвестиций. Стратегия по достижению углеродной нейтральности, принятая Казахстаном в текущем году, оценивает частные инвестиции и низкоуглеродные технологии, способствующие низкоуглеродному развитию, в размере $610 миллиардов. Вместе с этим климатическое финансирование не менее важно и для мер адаптации, где также требуются значительные финансовые ресурсы, дающие обществу и экономике возможность адаптироваться к неблагоприятным последствиям, уменьшить последствия изменения климата. Для привлечения зеленых инвестиций Казахстан предусмотрел в новом экологическом кодексе меры господдержки. Так, на основе международного опыта в Казахстане утверждена зеленая таксономия. Таксономия предусматривает реализацию зеленых проектов в области ВИА, энергоэффективности, сельского хозяйства и другие с 7% ставкой субсидирования. Зеленое финансирование – важный инструмент зеленого перехода, и для того, чтобы он заработал, необходимо создание условий и инфраструктуры. Уверен, что наши совместные действия создадут в Казахстане и в общем регионе благоприятную основу для содействия, стимулирования государственных и частных инвестиций, реализации зеленых проектов и создания инновационных решений. И в завершении хотел бы пожелать конструктивного диалога на этом мероприятии и успешного проведения данного мероприятия. Спасибо вам всем.
Thank you, His Excellency. Now, I would like to invite for the welcoming remarks Your Excellency, Minister of Nature Resources, Ecology and Technical Supervision of Kyrgyz Republic, Mr. Melis Turgunbayev.
Спасибо большое. Уважаемый Ирлан Нуралиевич, уважаемый Азиз Абдукахарович, уважаемые участники и гости этого мероприятия. Я вас сердечно приветствую на этом важном событии, посвященном инвестициям в устойчивое развитие и климатическую устойчивость в нашем регионе. Потребности на достижение климатических целей, как финансовые, так и институциональные, велики как у Кыргызстана, так и у многих стран, участвующих в эти дни на этой конференции сторон. Но мы видим, что и возможности значительны. По оценкам Международного валютного фонда, существует более 20 триллионов долларов, 23 триллионов долларов инвестиционных возможностей в зеленых и климатически связанных секторах и виде деятельности, которые могут помочь достичь национальных целей в соответствии с Парижским соглашением и ускорить переход мира к низкоуглеродной экономике. Частный сектор, включая банки, национальных инвесторов и капитальные рынки, готовы предоставлять основную часть этих средств. Следовательно, существует огромный глобальный интерес. к устойчивым финансам как способу активизировать финансовый сектор для решения вызовов устойчивого развития. Кыргызская республика подчеркивает прагматичный подход к финансированию инвестиций в климатическую устойчивость. Правительство Кыргызской республики создает соответствующие институциональные механизмы для координации вопросов климатических финансов в стране. Был учрежден Центр климатического финансирования в качестве ведущего органа, ответственного за вопросы, связанные с климатическими финансами в Кыргызской республике, который занимается помимо привлечения финансовых ресурсов из климатических фондов и международных организаций, а также поддержкой разработки инвестиционных проектов в климатическую устойчивость. В настоящее время формируется климатическая инвестиционная программа, которая будет служить оперативной рамкой для управления доступом к климатическим финансам в Кыргызской республике, учитывая климатическую устойчивость и содействие синергии в ответе на различные климатические риски, влияющие на страну. Это план мобилизации и привлечения финансовых ресурсов для климатической устойчивости в ключевых секторах экономики из различных источников, включая механизмы климатических финансов, такие как Зеленый климатический фонд, Глобальный экологический фонд и Международный банк развития и финансирование партнеров по развитию. Финансирование капиталовложений в климатическую инфраструктуру в страны Центральной Азии зависит от официальной развитой помощи и финансирования от международных финансовых институтов, включая многосторонние международные банки развития, двусторонние и региональные банки развития, а также международные финансовые институты. Нам важно сейчас готовить инвестиционно пригодные проекты с привлекательным профилем риск-доходность, соответствующим критериям инвесторов. Основные критерии включают вероятность успеха, достаточность предполагаемых денежных потоков для покрытия затрат и получения прибыли, соответствующей ожиданиям инвесторов, а также то, будет ли проект реализован кредитоспособной организацией. Нам будет очень интересно послушать сегодня опыт Казахстана, как представлять проекты потенциальным инвесторам и донорам, чтобы заинтересовать инвесторов, трансформировалось все во всеобщий успех. Благодарю за внимание.
Thank you, His Excellency. Now, for the last remarks, I would like to invite Your Excellency, Minister of Ecology, Environmental Protection and Climate Change of Republic of Uzbekistan, Mr. Aziz Abduhamikov.
Thank you, Mr. Isimbaev, Mr. Rugunbaev. We are having many discussions about climate change and the way to address it. However, none of these efforts will be possible without the integration of green agenda and action into an active economy. This is where innovative green startups are extremely valuable and needed as ever because they generate cumulative effects. First, fostering innovation. It is clear now that without innovative approaches, it will be difficult to effectively tackle climate change. Witnessing how many technological advancements and models and methodologies were introduced in response to the pressing environmental challenges is mind-blowing. This is especially needed in the most affected and damaged ecosystems, such as the Aral Sea region, for example. For this reason, we are actively promoting the transformation of the Aral Sea region into the zone of sustainability, innovations, and technologies. During his national statement, the President of Uzbekistan, His Excellency Shavkat Mirziyoyev, has proposed to establish International Climate Technology Expo Hub in Muinak region. You know, it's in north part of Karakal, Pakistan. Perhaps some of your products can also be showcased there. Second, green startups facilitate creation of green jobs. which is extremely important if we want to have a sustainable transition to green economy. It is important that job seekers prioritize the green sector when they need to make a decision about their future careers. The same applies to young people. We need to build an image of careers in sustainability and environment, highly prestigious paths. Recognizing this, the President of Uzbekistan has also proposed to develop the Green Jobs Initiative and establish a center of modeling jointly with International Labour Organization. Third, in many startup or business, education and knowledge play important role. I firmly believe that any changes starts with knowledge. Every successful entrepreneur is constantly working on his or her skills and capacities. We will be glad to welcome the most prominent green startups presented here to share their experience with the vibrant green startup community in Uzbekistan on the basis of Green University in Tashkent. Given that the university launched only recently, we are in the process of establishing an effective mechanism to identify, grow, and support sustainability-focused entrepreneurs. Lastly, I would like to wish all of you a great success in your entrepreneur journeys and look forward to seeing your startup scaling up not only in Kazakhstan, but across Central Asia and the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, His Excellencies. So, as I said, I've been working with UNDP to serving the countries, and Central Asia is one of the countries, region that we have been working with all the countries here. And I will not repeat everything again. His Excellencies highlighted the key issues. We are all aware that the climate crisis is an existential crisis. But I think we need to highlight some critical issues. First, we have been working between the activities, projects, and strategies and policies. And when we hear from His Excellencies, ministers, about the political commitment, I think it is very important to bridge the gap with technology, with education, and also with finance. And here, UNDP, we have been working on many dimensions for sustainable development, where next generation, where digitalization, where especially the entrepreneurship are critically important. And in the countries of Central Asia, we do believe that there is a huge potential. The nature of the region, the population of the region, and youth generation of the region are important to keep in the mind while fighting with the climate change. And without any further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Daniyar Kelbetov, Chief Product Officer of Astana International Finance Center, to facilitate the pitching event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nuri Ozbagdatlı. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, my name is Daniyar Kelbetov. I'm also the chairman of the board of directors of Green Finance Center, and today I'll try to speak in English so that our viewers online can also see. Before we go to our pitching session, a couple of words about the Green Finance Center. Green Finance Center was established in 2016 with the aim of promoting the development of green and sustainable finance instruments in Kazakhstan and Central Asia broadly. It is partly owned by the Astana International Financial Center and the Eurasian Development Bank. We have played a crucial role in introducing and developing green finance instruments such as green bonds in Kazakhstan and Central Asia through regulatory initiatives, research, capacity building, as well as external review, legal, and other consulting service in green finance and environmental law. Green Finance Center's assistance in establishing Kazakhstan's green financial system included the development of the concept of green financial system of Kazakhstan, green taxonomy of Republic of Kazakhstan, and the assistance of the first issuances of green bonds. Now, if we talk about the sustainable bond market in Kazakhstan, in August 2020, the Green Finance Center, together with the UNDP, supported the very first issuance of the green bonds that was listed on Astana International Exchange. The issuance amount was only $500,000, but in 3 years' time, the green bond and loans market today reached $330 million. And if we include social bonds into that, this number exceeds $500 million. With such strong progress, we were able to work out with the government the introduction of subsidy schemes and other preferences for sustainable projects. We did not stop there. Just a few days ago, we launched a very first sustainability-linked bond on Astana International Exchange. This type of instrument is very important for our region, especially that we're a resource-rich country. And we're closely collaborating with the stock exchanges of Uzbekistan, of Tajikistan, Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan. We want to help them establish the ESG segments on their stock exchanges. We're also working closely with the investment brokers of the Central Asia. We are very happy to see that Uzbekistan was one of the first countries to issue a sovereign green bond and sovereign ESG bond. And I have to note that Central Asia has a huge potential and political willingness to contribute to the global climate agenda, but this requires global collaboration. And this can be done only with the strong willingness of multilateral development banks and foreign investors to invest into such projects and thus turn their appetite into action. So on this note, it is very obvious that any green transition requires technology process. And for this, we have International Green Technologies and Investment Projects Center. So I would like to invite Mr. Oljas Agabekov to share their vision on green projects and the importance of green financing to foster innovations. Please, thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. I just prepared my speech note in Russian. So thank you. Уважаемые дамы и господа, уважаемые господа министры, президент КОП Султан Аль-Джабер в своем выступлении перед мировыми лидерами отметил, что необходимо инновационное мышление для финансирования новой климатической политики. На сегодня в стране, как уже неоднократно отмечалось, в нашей республике, созданы все необходимые условия и институциональные основы для развития инноваций и зеленого финансирования. Это в первую очередь, наверное, принятый экологический кодекс, который разработан в соответствии с лучшими стандартами ОСР. В свою очередь содержит переход на принципы наилучших доступных техник, меры зеленого стимулирования, зеленая таксономия, которая была разработана совместно с коллегами из МФЦА. Отдельные главы, посвященные углеродным рынкам и адаптации к изменению климата. Международный центр, в свою очередь, зеленых технологий и инвестиционных проектов является инструментом по реализации данных экологических реформ, в числе которых можно отметить разработку самих справочников НДТ и создание системы развития зеленых технологий. На базе центра создан отраслевой центр технологических компетенций Министерства экологии и природных ресурсов. Целями является технологическое развитие отрасли, реализация задач по обеспечению развития и продвижения высокотехнологичных инноваций в сфере зеленых технологий с учетом отраслевых приоритетов и их специфики. Для этого планируется привлечение ведущих отечественных и зарубежных экспертов и экспертных организаций, международных технологических компаний и исследовательских организаций. На текущий момент мы прорабатываем сотрудничество с государственными агентствами из таких стран, как Япония, Корея, Европейский Союз и Сингапур. Все это, в свою очередь, ложится в разработанную нами концепцию развития зеленого хаба по трансферу инновационных технологий и развития зеленого финансирования и созданию экосистемы экологичных стартапов, проектов. Если продолжить мысль именно об инновационных решениях, уважаемые коллеги, то в рамках развития международного партнерства с ноября 2022 года реализуется проект «Глобальная программа по продвижению чистых инноваций в области чистых технологий и предпринимательства в МСБ для создания зеленых рабочих мест». Это грантовый проект, он реализуется совместно с организацией ЮНИДО. Проект направлен на продвижение инноваций в области чистых технологий. В данном проекте мы предполагаем выстраивание инновационной экосистемы, то есть работая с передовыми инновационными грин-тех-хабами из стран Сингапура, Силиконовой долины, австрийский хаб. Используя их потенциал, будет создана некая нетворкинг-сеть, которая позволит обеспечить трансфер технологий не только, наверное, в нашу страну, но и в регион в целом. После завершения этого проекта МЦЗТ будет способна самостоятельно продолжать выполнять компоненты данного мероприятия. То есть это преобразование инновационных решений в области чистых технологий, укрепление взаимодействия экосистемы чистых технологий, инноваций и предпринимательства, а также сама акселерация непосредственно стартап-проектов. В заключение, уважаемые коллеги, хотелось бы отметить, что 8 декабря мы будем подробно это мероприятие освещать с коллегами из ЮНИДО, поэтому всех приглашаем поучаствовать, расширить партнерство в развитии чистых технологий и инноваций. Спасибо за внимание.
Спасибо большое. And now I would like to invite our first speaker, Ms. Aselь Mukazhanova, the Managing Director of DAMO Entrepreneurship Development Fund. Just to note, DAMO Fund was exactly the issuer of the very first bond in Kazakhstan and is now the operator of the subsidy scheme for green bonds. Thank you.
Good afternoon, dear participants. Let me express my sincerely gratitude towards the organizers of this event, which is dedicated to sustainable development and climate resilience. Today's topic is not only relevant, but it's becoming an integral part of the global climate change. In this period of global change, the MOVE Fund doesn't stand aside. Just a moment. Doesn't stand aside and takes into account global climate trends in promoting or providing financial support to the entrepreneurs by subsidizing interest rates, guarantee loans, and concessional loans through second-tier banks, microfinance organizations, and leasing companies as operator of own and state programs. We actively implement ESG principles in our works, attract green investments, and support energy efficient production. Our vision is directed toward the future where social responsibility and environmental sustainability play a key role in shaping the stable and prosperous society. It should be noted that the MOVE Fund was becoming the first partner of UNDP in implementing of green instruments. For example, in 2017, we have our first project, Sustainable Cities of Low Carbon Development, with financial support of JEF and in the partnership with Ministry of Industry and Infrastructural Development of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The agreement was signed for $3 million, and the main objective of the project was to develop energy efficiency of urban infrastructure and reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Also, we have two more projects with UNDP. It's reducing risk of investing in renewable energy sources and creating conditions for attracting investors in energy efficiency in Kazakhstan. Over the 6 years of our productive cooperation with using the subsidy and guarantee instruments, we have successfully promoted projects aimed at energy efficiency and developed small-scale renewable energy sources sector. As a result of our efforts, the southern regions of Kazakhstan have become fertile ground for the development of small-scale renewable energy sources. In the framework with UNDP, the MOVE Fund supported 59 projects. The amount of paid subsidies is $2.2 million. It should be noted that in 2020, with the support of UNDP, the MOVE Fund carried out its debit placement of green bonds on the Astana International Exchange. And in this regard, the MOVE Fund awarded the prestigious award of the International Organization Climate Bonds Initiative in the category Green Market Pioneer. In September 2021, in debit issue of social bonds, we carried out of the amount of $2 million for the 5 years. It was bonds became the first secretary on the Kazakhstan stock market that comply with social principles. In addition, through the joint efforts of the DAMU and UNDP and IFC, we contribute to the development of basis legislative and regulatory framework for the development of green finance market. We approved a taxonomy of green projects through green bonds and loans and legislative definition of green projects and green financing. The MOVE Fund's international cooperation including with the EBRD, European Investment Bank and Asian Development Bank and others, made it possible to attract more than $1 billion for providing the financial support. We are a driver for the development of sustainable finance in Kazakhstan and supported 147 green projects worth $327 million. Also in this year, it was significant for DAMU that we take 22 score from ESG. And also I would like to say that tomorrow we would like to sign join the number of signatures of the Green Investment Principles. It's a club of advanced financial institutions specialized in green investments. Also, I would like to inform that with the UNDP, it's our long-term partner, we would like to launch a guarantee fund. The main goal of this fund is to implement state economy policy, reducing the share of state participation in the country's economy. Through the guarantee fund, we strive not only to expand support the small and medium-sized entrepreneurs, but also create an effective guarantee system with a focus on green projects in the areas of energy efficiency and renewable energy sources. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think it was very insightful and it will be very helpful for other potential issuers in the region. Just for reference, the Green Finance Center and the UNDP are actually currently working on a similar very first project in Uzbekistan, and we're also planning to do such projects in the whole Central Asian region. As I mentioned a few days ago, we just launched the very first sustainability linked bond on Astana International Exchange. The second party opinion was provided by the Green Finance Center. So this project was related to conversion of coal-based power plant to gas-based and sets ambitious targets to reduce emissions. With this, I invite Mr. Almazbek Kamalov, the Chief Financial Officer of Samruk Energy, to shed some light on this project and maybe their future plans. Thank you.
Good day, dear visitors. I appreciate the opportunity to share the work carried out in Samruk Energy regarding implementation of energy transition program. And I would like to thank UNDP, AAFC for the invitation and organization of this event, as well as guests who came here to participate in our event. First, I would like to present a short overview of our current situation and our initiatives regarding sustainable development. In 2016, Kazakhstan ratified the Paris Agreement aimed at reducing greenhouse emissions. To achieve this goal in 2022, energy transition programs were approved for Sovereign Wealth Fund Samruk Kazina and Samruk Energy, who is a subsidiary of fund. This program plans a gradual reduction in carbon emissions by 10% in 2032 compared to 2021 and aims for carbon neutrality by 2060. Yeah. Here briefly about the current position of Samruk Energy. With a market share of 32%, Samruk Energy is the absolute leader within the country. Currently, the share coal generation is 91%, and given this, it can be said that implementation of energy transition program is a significant challenge for us. However, Kazakhstan has a huge perspective to develop renewable energy sources. Regarding financial indicators, in recent years, a positive trend has been observed, facilitated by the improvement of regulatory environment and energy market reforms, such as introduction of single purchaser. This model will allow for renewal of energy assets, while the price of existing and new power plants will be averaged and thereby ensuring the smooth increase in electricity tariffs. So let's go on. Yeah. Here we can see renewable energy potential at the left side, and at the right side, Samruk Energy's investment projects. Kazakhstan has a great potential, namely, according to the solar radiation map, we see that southern Kazakhstan and Mangistau regions have an indicator at the level of global horizontal irradiance more than 3.8, which is on par with San Marino, Italy, and France. Moreover, the potential of solar energy in southern regions of our country is about 3,000 hours per year, which allows us to be competitive with sunniest countries in the world. Kazakhstan's hydro potential is estimated at 62.6 billion kilowatt per year, which is about 55% of current consumption in the country. The potential of wind power in Kazakhstan is estimated at 18 trillion kilowatt per year. Around 50% of territory of Kazakhstan has a wind speed of 5 meters per second at a height of 30 meters. Using these natural resources, Samruk Energy plan to implement projects with strategic investors for the construction of 4 gigawatt wind power plants, 1 gigawatt solar power plant, and 1.7 gigawatt of hydroelectric power stations by 2032. Now I would like to talk more about our current transition energy program that is converting Almaty thermal power plants from coal to gas. And here we can see the impacts. The city of Almaty is surrounded with the Iliski Alatau mountain chain that keeps harmful emissions. The city has a population of more than 2 million people. Air pollution is one of the biggest problems in the city and leading to high rates of illness and premature mortality among citizens. Due to this, they implemented projects are socially and environmentally important and at the same time solve the country's energy deficit in the southern side of Kazakhstan. After commissioning these projects, greenhouse emission gas will be reduced by 28% and emissions of harmful substance will be reduced by 92%. And capacity will increase by 418 megawatts. Given that reconstructed CHP3, we have here 2 projects, CHP2 and 3. CHP3 will be maneuvering capacity, and for instance, it will be able to balance 500 megawatts of wind power plant. This is our last slide. It's more about finance. And currently for CHP2 project, loan agreements have been concluded with development banks. For CHP3 projects, the process of issuing bonds related to sustainable development is ongoing. With the financing about $500 million, the coupon rate is determined at the level of Kazakhstan's National Bank base rate plus margin. Margin will be about 1.5 to 2.5%. We've made a little analysis here to show the advantages of this financial instrument and made a retrospective analysis from 2018 that shows a dollar yield of 9.12%. And these bonds were verified by the AIFC Finance Center and the shareholder guarantee, who is Sovereign Wealth Fund with BBB rating. Here I finish, so at the end I want to thank everybody, and we'll be glad to see you in quick Q&A question sessions, and want to thank my team also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. After successful launch of the very first green bond in Kyrgyzstan, we are now seeing a number of partnerships between Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan businesses. One of such projects is related to renewable energy, and Green Finance Center was a provider of the second party opinion. And for this, I would like to invite Mr. Zhumart Mominbayev, member of Kazakhstan Renewable Energy Association, chairman of the Industry Committee of Material Science and Green Technology at the Kazakhstan British Technological University. Please.
Қайырлы күн, мәртебелі қатысушылар, қымбатты ханымдар мен мырзалар. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to see you today at our session. And today, the motto of COP28, like Unite, Act, Deliver, is filling with really sense. So we at COP United here today in this room, we do really act in realization of renewable energy projects, and we believe that you can deliver your efforts, your support, and your investments into realization of these renewable energy projects. So that solar power plant we built in Kazakhstan last year in Balkhash region, central of Kazakhstan, and the same 50 megawatt solar power plant we about to finance and construct in Kyrgyz Republic in Issyk-Kul region, north side of beautiful Issyk-Kul Lake. So some short facts about this Technogroup service. We do design, construction, deliver IT services, wind monitoring, manufacturing of equipment, and supporting the O&M services for our stations. We are the leading companies in number of directions of renewable energy, like IT, like we are the first who get the presidential award Altyn Sapa, showing our quality, and we are the first in history who did the case for educational purposes for Nazarbayev University for leadership and entrepreneurship program. Like the name of this is in search of renewable energy for blue ocean in Republic of Kazakhstan. And also we did this second party opinion together with GFC on our green bond framework. So, and IFC helped us for preparing these documents, and now we are ready to go to Kazakh Stocks Exchange. So some short and sharp facts and information about our project in Kyrgyz Republic. The total capacity is 50 megawatt, and the tariff is $4.9 per kilowatt hour. The PPA agreement lasting for 25 years and will be supported with quasi guarantee from fund related to Ministry of Finance of Kyrgyz Republic. And the generation, the annual energy production is expected at 85 million kilowatt hours per year. And we are ready to issue these green bonds for 3 years with a coupon like 8% in US dollars, and with call option after 1.5 years. And these green bonds will be repaid when the station will be constructed and generated the electricity by the loan of international financial institution. So you can see here that we use the platform of Kazakhstan for issuing these green bonds. Yeah, you can see these S&P rating for Kazakhstan, BBB minus stable, and Fitch rating is BBB stable. And that will cover some risk, yeah, where we can meet with that project in Republic of Kazakhstan, or Republic of Kyrgyzstan. So we believe that this project will be interesting for the international investors, and we are right now preparing this emission of these green bonds so as to make the very tuned emission for their needs. So we also think about issuing the green sukuk under our green bond framework for the potential investors. So here you can see our SPO, our green bond framework, and here you can find the information from our website about this really interesting project that will be realized in Kyrgyz Republic next year. Thank you very much for your attention. We are ready to answer your questions.
Thank you very much. I think this type of projects is exactly what our region needs: internal regional collaboration on top of the international integration. And probably you've seen just before the session, the Green Finance Center and the Akia Avesta Automotive Industry Group from Republic of Tajikistan signed a memorandum of understanding in order to work out the potential very first sustainable bond. That means it encompasses both environmental and social aspects. And this project is related to the launch of sustainable public transport. For this, I invite Mr. Asror Mirzoyev. The floor is yours. Thank you.
We have a short video presentation.
Public transportation plays a vital role in urban infrastructure, providing a rapid and cost-effective mode of movement for a large portion of the population. The joint venture, Akia Avesto Automotive Industry, was established by the Tajik company Avesto Group and the Turkish company Akia in January 2018, with the purpose of assembling and manufacturing passenger buses of the Akia brand in Tajikistan. It is the first and only company in the Republic of Tajikistan to manufacture buses according to European standards, significantly contributing to the country's industrialization. The annual production capacity of the enterprise is 350 buses. In line with the importance of transitioning to a green economy and reducing greenhouse gas emissions, in 2022, the company has commenced a series production of environmentally friendly electric buses, trolley buses, and CNG buses, while planning to construct the first electric bus charging station in Dushanbe for the first 30 units of electric buses by the end of 2023 year. Currently, the model lineup of Akia Avesto consists of 8 types of city and intercity buses, electric buses, and trolley buses. To date, the company has manufactured 451 buses, including 300 units of a Kia Ultra LF12, 141 units of a Kia Arion LE8, and 10 units of a Kia Ultra double-decker buses. Additionally, at the first stage, 30 electric buses are scheduled for delivery to the municipality of Dushanbe by the end of 2023. Akia Avesto has developed mutually advantageous partnerships with globally renowned companies such as Mercedes-Benz AG, ZF Group, Allison, Brist, Bosch, Knorr-Bremse, CRRC, CATL, WABCO, and other industry leaders in the production of its modern buses. The factories of IKEA are located in Tajikistan and Turkey, with the main exporting destinations being Southeast Europe, Baltic states, Central Asia, Caucasus, Near East, and Africa. The company has produced and exported more than 3,000 city and intercity buses of various sizes throughout the world. Key strengths of IKEA Avesto are its focus on innovation and reliability. Technical innovations have resulted in products with an extended life cycle, economical fuel consumption, increased safety, and enhanced comfort. IKEA Avesto, step forward to the innovations in the automotive industry.
Thank you. Thank you. Dear colleagues and esteemed guests, we are grateful to organizers of UN Climate Change Conference for granting this event, and to Green Finance Center for granting us to participate. We are honored to be in attendance to engage discussion regarding the potential cooperation for electric mobility development in Tajikistan. In effort to adapt national economy to climate change, protect the environment, and enhance the environmental conditions, Government of Tajikistan has implemented several significant measures, including the implementation of important decrees and programs aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions by providing incentives for electric vehicles. It should be noted that 98% of electric energy generated in Tajikistan comes from renewable resources, specifically hydropower plants. This indicates that our country has the capacity to entirely transition to environmentally friendly methods in terms of mobility and energy. As a result, the government has implemented a program aimed at the development of electric vehicles from 2023 to 2028, providing electric vehicles with greater benefits than internal combustion vehicles. All electric vehicles imports are exempt from custom fees and VAT as a part of this initiative. The program also includes consideration of electric vehicle infrastructure, such as charging stations, battery collection facilities, battery recycling, and disposal facilities across the entire country. The chairman of the Dushanbe City has approved a decree regarding the action plan of municipality of Dushanbe for development of electric transport from 2023 to 2028, and also the concept to transition of public transport of the capital city to electric vehicles from 2023 to 2026. The chart illustrates the scheduled transition of public transportation in Dushanbe to electric vehicles by 2026, the upper chart. The bottom chart of the right displays the proportion of public transport usage and greenhouse gas emission. If public transportation in Dushanbe, including taxis, were to transition to electric vehicles, the city's greenhouse gas emission could potentially decrease by 37%. In accordance with the aforementioned decrease in programs, our company has taken initiative to commence series green production of electric buses, trolley buses, and CNG buses in 2022. As it was mentioned in the presentation, the establishment of IKEA Avesto marked our country's initial foray in automotive manufacturing. Furthermore, our company intends to commence the assembly of EV charging station in 2024. Presently, our collaboration contracts total 36 million euros. Since the inception of our cooperation, IKEA Avesto has successfully manufactured 410 buses for the city of Dushanbe. Additionally, in 2021, our company competed in a tender held by EBRD alongside 10 other foreign companies and emerged as a winner. This tender focused on procurement of 41 8-meter buses for Bokhtar city. Furthermore, we are on track to launch the first batch of 30 electric buses for Dushanbe city by the end of 2023. To ensure the continued operational efficiency of the buses in Dushanbe, we have established a subsidiary company, City Service, which is responsible for maintenance and warranty work. Additionally, our company actually participates in Expo and enabled in enhanced in expos aimed in enhancing the public transport system. On the other hand, ongoing project is a minibus pilot project, which involves 4 different diesel models that will soon be replaced by electric minibuses. Our company contributions have resulted in us being awarded Brand of the Year twice, both in 2019 and 2022. As previously mentioned during the presentation, Dushanbe and Tajikistan in common are rapidly progressing towards electric mobility. With readily available green electricity, there are numerous investment opportunities in various sectors. Accordingly, these are all potential investment projects specifically for Dushanbe city that needs financing and collaboration for implementation. These are all the numbers of the mainly the public transportation that needs to be changed by 2028, and all the estimated funds that are required to implement. In addition to the aforementioned projects, there is potential for the implementation of further initiatives to advance electric vehicle development nationwide. We appreciate your time and consideration and anticipate to engage in productive mutual cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think this really interesting project, especially when these buses or transportation is charged based on the hydropower. And it is only logical that if Tajikistan is working on electrifying the public transportation, then the taxes should be also based on electric vehicles. So for this project, I invite Mr. Inom Hafizov from Safar Orient, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attendance. My name is Inom Hafizov. I'm going to tell you today about taxi fleet using electric vehicles, and the guys should play my presentation over there. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to speak about green caps for green cities, the benefits of ecological and economic benefits of electric taxi transportation in Tajikistan system, and here are a table of content. As you see, it will include environmental benefits, comparisons of gas vehicle to traditional motor vehicle. I hope it will not take long. This slide is about our company. Yak Taxi was established as a company in 2007, but as a brand of Yak Taxi, we started activities, taxi service in 2020. And we were the first company to deliver electric vehicles to Tajikistan in taxi fleet. The integration of the taxi electric vehicles was a new experience for our company, and we were a pioneer in the integration of electric vehicles into taxi fleet. Within the framework of our Eco City project, we already replaced 400 traditional electric vehicles to electric vehicle, and we also came across with the problems, including with charging infrastructure in our country, because when we decided to integrate electric vehicles, we came across with the charging stations. So we supposed to install the charging stations around the city, around the country. And right now we are developing our application, software application for customers with iOS phone, mobile phone, and Android mobile phone. And we're still working on this field, and we are right now working on replacement of all taxi fleet of our company. And the main point in this is, as mentioned by my colleague, there's a decree of our chief of our capital city, so we have to replace all those all those traditionally with gasoline engine vehicles to electric vehicle taxi. And here is a short information about environmental benefits of electric vehicles. As you know, everyone, it is reduced air pollution is the main thing, and to reduce air pollution, EV taxis don't produce tailpipe gas. That's why which are the major source of air pollution in the cities. This can help to improve the quality and respiratory problems. It has almost zero tailpipe greenhouse gas emissions, and it is quieter with electric taxis, produce less noise. So this can also help to produce reduce noise pollution and reduce noise levels in the cities that could create a more pleasant living environment for residents. As you see in this graph, there is a comparison of traditional vehicle to electric vehicle. Emission of carbon dioxide per year for a traditional car is around 26.7 tons, and the electric vehicle is around 5.2 tons. It is calculated according to medium mileage for each vehicle, 73,000 kilometers. Okay. And economic benefits of electric vehicle is also, as you see, there's fuel savings, reduced maintenance costs, higher resale values, and government incentives. Each helps for drivers save money for maintenance and repair of the electric vehicles. Here is a comparison on expenses. For a traditional vehicle is if for a 1 liter of gasoline, if a driver spends around $1, but by charging, the driver spends around 0.09 cents. So in a 400 range distance, almost around $44 should spend the driver with traditional vehicle, and around $4 the driver with electric vehicle. As you see, there is a graph of gas emissions, total carbon dioxide. In 2018, it was around 330,000, but it is expected to be 840,000 by 2030. And our project is expected to reduce those GHG emissions to 530,000 tons of carbon dioxide for the period of 2023 to 2028. So to achieve this, we're supposed to replace around 5,000 electric vehicles in this period of time. There are some key barriers for e-mobility in Tajikistan, economic and infrastructural. As you see, there is high cost purchase, lack of financing, and battery replacement. And also underdeveloped charging infrastructure is the main thing. Absence of servicing facilities, no domestic industry, all these are barriers. Transitioning to an EV taxi fleet requires a collaborative effort from government agencies and from the taxi company and from the investors. We all are supposed to effectively collaborate on working and changing integration of electric vehicles. We should work and support the development of charging infrastructure and provide financing options for EV purchases. By working together, Tajikistan can harness the power of EVs to create a greener, healthier, and more economically prosperous country for its residents and future generations. Thank you very much for listening my presentation, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In terms of the projects, last but not the least, the Central Asia is one of the leading exporters of agriculture, and carbon farming is one of the hot topics in our region. So I invite Mr. Danat Jumin, co-chair of Association for Sustainable Development of Territories COP28 in Kazakhstan, to share about carbon farming project and other projects as well. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, құрметті жиналған қауым. When I look to the audience, I found out that most of the people actually do not belong to the English-speaking community. So if you allow, I will violate a little bit the rules of this stage and continue my presentation in Russian. But for those of you who actually speak English, you can look the information, find out the information out of the slides. Okay, I will be very brief. Sorry. Oops. Oh, that was very brief. Можно еще раз? Я просто вижу, все уже немножко устали, поэтому я очень коротко основные вещи покажу. На самом деле 3 проекта хочу представить, потихоньку начну рассказывать. Вы знаете, что Казахстан очень большая страна, и мы видим свою роль в том, чтобы активно заняться лесоразведением и лесоводством. Мы видим, что лесные проекты могут очень серьезный вклад внести в декарбонизацию, поэтому вот один из наших первых проектов, он расположен в Акмолинской области, это неподалеку от Астаны. Мы определили участок, это порядка 14 500 гектаров земли. На нем мы планируем высадить сосновый лес, который в перспективе 50 лет позволит нам поглотить порядка 8 миллионов тонн карбона. Вот, значит, общий объем инвестиций порядка 25 миллионов долларов. Себестоимость 1 тонны поглощения у нас составляет примерно $3.17. Это первый проект. Следующий проект, я думаю, он будет интересен нашим коллегам из других стран Центральной Азии, с Кыргызстана, Узбекистана, но в целом вопросы, связанные с управлением отходами, вопросы, связанные с мусором, я думаю, они очень похожи и схожи, все эти проблемы и у Казахстана, и у Узбекистана, и у Кыргызстана. У нас в Алмате один из крупнейших мусорных полигонов. За прошедшие годы там накоплено порядка 13,5 миллионов отходов, что в принципе вот по нашим расчетам способно, значит, обеспечить нам в течение 10 лет подачу биогаза порядка 1740 кубометров в час. Вот из этого газа этот газ мы планируем, значит, использовать для производства электроэнергии, и мы просчитали, что примерно речь идет о 24, почти 25 миллионах киловатт-час в год. Вот для этого мы планируем установить станцию мощностью 3,2 мегаватта. Вот в целом объем инвестиций 6,3 миллиона долларов. В перспективе 10 лет 1,8 миллиона поглощений, вернее, не допустим, значит, выбросов примерно 1,8 миллионов тонн углекислого газа. Вот это второй проект. Третий проект тоже связан с мусором.
Значит, что мы нашли? Есть такая возможность, не весь мусор может быть переработан, к сожалению. Есть крупногабаритный мусор, есть, значит, вещи, которые не подлежат переработке. Как правило, это полимерная группа. И вот у нас появился проект, сейчас мы над ним работаем, он связан с производством РДФ. Это топливо, которое так же, как и уголь, может использоваться в различных производственных процессах. В частности, мы договорились с цементным заводом, который в своем продакшене, в своем производстве использует уголь. И мы договорились о том, что мы будем производить из мусора РДФ, и это позволит заместить порядка 30% его потребления угля. И таким образом примерно 86 тысяч отходов ежегодно мы будем перерабатывать, что позволит нам не допустить почти 1,5 миллиона тонн метана выброса в атмосферу. Вот такой вот проект. Ну, в пересчете на углекислый газ речь идет о почти 4 миллионах тонн углекислого газа. Вот, basically, this is what I wanted to present today. Thank you for your attention. See you later. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. That's my name, my email, my phone number. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really very interesting projects. So we heard many projects, very different, very diverse in different countries, but all in Central Asia. So I would like to invite Mr. Konrad Albrecht, from the Managing Director of the Eurasian Development Bank, to actually share the plans of the bank and maybe how they select the type of projects and what to look forward, please. Thank you.
Уважаемые коллеги, добрый день. Я не говорю по-русски, but I will try to do my best in next 5 or 6 minutes to not be everyone. I know it's my last session, so Daniel, thank you so much for it. It's a very tough position that I have to keep the audience also interested in my presentation. But I was very excited to hear all the speeches and all the key projects that we have in the region. I'm personally very passionate about Central Asia. I'm German Brazilian, and I share very common values, especially when we look for Brazil, and how this cultural heritage is very important as well when we tackle about the projects in the region. The human resources that we have, the indigenous peoples, and all the local people, there is also needs to be always supported as we move progressing towards just transition is also something extremely important as we move the pathway for achieving 2060, 2050 targets for the decarbonization targets of our member countries as well and in the region. And I heard many very good points for technology, even from the ministries, which I think it's very important to attract technologies, critical low carbon technologies for the region. So how we can attract maybe with lower taxes and more legally binding and very strong resources that those companies from the West, from the East, they can also establish their roots here in Central Asia and collaborate with the other emerging pioneers, locally flavored as well, that we have the local companies here in our region in Central Asia. This is extremely exciting and important, and we always need to tackle that more and more, because technology is extremely good for what we need to achieve for the carbon neutrality in the next few years. Well, the bank, I will go there in a second, but I also wanted to highlight some key important points. From recent research we unveiled in May of this year, we can basically see that the region is, we all know, is extremely sensitive for climate effects, but we also have to tackle which industries are the most important ones to focus our attention. Climate-related financing, which is extremely important to support the transition of those industries. And of course, energy is the bulk, is a no-brainer that we always have to be very looking for the projects that are needed for the transition. Finance transition is extremely important, but we also have other industries very intensive in the bulk of 90% of all the region, all the major countries that we have in the region. So we have industry, transport, building maintenance, and agriculture. And depending on the country, that is more or less intensive. We all know how it's dependent for well, the energy for especially Kazakhstan and Russian Federation. But we also have other countries that are more like in agriculture, transport. So it's across the board, all the different industries, they need to be supported. And not just by coincidence, those are also the forms, the bulk of our financed industries in our CIP, or investment portfolio. We're always centered in those industries. So the bank is always moving the pathway for critical infrastructure, and especially what we have across the region as we are a development bank with the Central Asian countries. We're looking always for PPP projects and for cross-boundary projects as well, not just a single country that we look for. And we also know what is the challenge that we have in the region. We also see that comparing to maybe the global average, right, what is the intensity of the volume of the emissions per capita, we see that some countries, they're more intense, so they may have more, I would say, some challenges ahead, and that's also necessary to have also stringent support from the government, but not just the government, but also from financial institutions, as we do as well, and of course in the private sector, which is extremely important, because in the end, they're going to have the projects, they're going to be financed, they're going to be funded by the financiers and supported by the structure of the ministries, by the government. But that's the reality that we need to know. What is the profile of each country whenever we're also tackling cross-boundary projects in effect? So that's important to see the whole picture of Central Asia. And of course, we have the commitments and very good advancements as to this date of the carbon neutrality pledges that we have from each country. And we see on the right side of the screen a very good calculation, not just from our bank, but across market data. And we can see what is the nature of the challenge in numbers. So we can see that to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050, by 2060, depending on the country, in Kazakhstan, roughly $700 billion. So how many times this is the current GDP of the country? Russian Federation, 6.5 trillion. Kyrgyzstan, $10 billion by 2050, by 2060. So this is the amount of challenge. That's how whenever we're asking what we're doing to achieve the climate accord, well, we have a long pathway to go, but we already recognize that we have the financial institutions locally, regional, and international. That's also always mentioned that is critically important for Central Asian countries to support more and more the conditions for attracting more international investors to here. As I said, like technology, legally binding structure, and also partnerships. This is one of the conventions that we can partner and have collaboration. That's also what our bank we're looking for to do more. But there's not just one size fits all, as we can see, but the common challenge is that we all looking for to achieve those targets in the next few years. This is the challenge that we have on the finance side. So more projects are needed, more funding, and more partnerships. And here basically, okay, what are the different projects that we can finance? This is also the bulk of what we are looking in the bank. Different types of sectors. As we saw before, they are the most intensive on GHG emissions in the region. But that is also what we see, that's the challenge, but also the opportunity. So we need to see that this region, it also is very attractive for transitioning those very dependent on coal, as we saw in the energy company here that showed some very good slides of 90% of the bulk of the energy is coal. So, well, that's also an opportunity for transitioning that, in climate finance, that's what we need to do more. And MDBs like our bank, the Eurasian Development Bank, we're also partnered with other MDBs in the region, but we can see that 4% at last year, that with this new, let's say, climate-related report on climate finance, only 4% of those medium and low-income countries was targeted for Central Asia. We also need to raise this more and more. So that's why partnerships are very important in this region. We need to help this to grow more and more every year that we progress. So this is across the board with all the other MDBs. This joint action is extremely important. And in our CIP, or investment portfolio, this is also something that we have. Basically, energy transition is one of the key priorities. This is the legacy of our investments that we have, but we're always looking for new technologies as well. We also help our clients in the end to be bankable projects. If they're not yet bankable, we have technical assistance oriented for green and climate oriented projects, low carbon technologies. This is what we wanted to explore more. And basically, this is just another viewpoint of our portfolio. But I think that's a very good point that we need to always stress out. And just to conclude my quick speech, is that we need more partnerships and we need action. We always heard this, we need to execute more. So that is also the financiers. I think we are the key, the financiers with the private sector and the government to make it and execute those projects that we all need for Central Asia. Thank you very much, Daniel, and everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. As we know, Eurasian Development Bank indeed is one of the active and leading institutional investors in our region. So on this note, I would like to finish our session. I would like to thank Your Excellencies for your participation, dear speakers, presenters, dear participants of this session, online viewers. So if you have any questions, all the speakers, presenters will be outside. On this, we would like to finish our session. Thank you very much.
The decarbonization
предлагаю
process
сделать
is
памятное фото
reversible.
всем спикерам на фоне баннера.
Countries come together on the path